Well. I'd like to know, are you really ready for some super dynamite soul? And thank you, because now it's start time.
Peace, this is DJ Rockwell. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome. It is Saturday, it's 7 o'clock, and you are in the place to be with me, yours truly, the nation's number one DJ, DJ Rockwell. Welcome to the Rockwell Radio Show, where the music meets the mission. Today, as I say, every Saturday is such a special day. It's such a special Saturday because I get to talk to one of my journalistic heroes, if that's such a thing. Today is such a special day because, and I was just talking to the brother off mic, that even after all of these years, we've never had the chance to have a single conversation because brother is a worker. He's a mover, a shaker, a traveler, and most importantly, a helper of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Again, it's 7 o'clock. It's Saturday. You tuned into the Rockwell Radio Show. As I say every Saturday, it's around this time where we ask you to stop what you're doing, hit that like button, hit that share button. If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe today. If you're watching us on Facebook, share the show, hit the like button. We want to make sure that everyone that's online tonight gets a part of what we're about to experience tonight. Listen here. We don't do nicknames, but if I had to give my guest a nickname, I'd call him, let me stop the music, I'd call him 5,000. Brother Vaughn, why you say that? Because brother's signature smile is 5,000 watts. It is his calling card. More importantly than that, his outward appearance is his inward appearance that you feel when you shake his hand. A humble brother who's kind, gentle, but a warrior when it comes to this work. I've assembled a few notes that I want to share with you about my guest tonight. This brother, again, you know him by his work, but we mostly know him by his spirit when he appears before us on camera. Whether he's online, whether you're reading his work in the final call, or whether he's presenting on a national stage from the National House or our headquarters in Chicago, Illinois, Mosque Mariam. This brother has been an immeasurable benefit to the nation and personally, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And it's such a great honor to have such a man with me tonight for the first time on the Rockwell Radio Show. Brother, as you know, we're going to talk about this YouTube fiasco. This brother had 73,000+ subscription on his YouTube channel. Can you imagine that? Us as content creators would just die to have that kind of subscription base. Not only that, his combined content had received in excess of 14 million views. Wow. And then all of a sudden, he started getting locked out, kicked out, put out, can't get on. Content being pulled from him. What happened? And then eventually banned altogether from YouTube for helping the minister. Let me read a few facts as I bring brother on. He's a longtime contributor to the Final Call out of Houston. He's known as in many circles as the commander in tweet, so I'm told. At the request of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, this brother set up the minister's Twitter account, and it extended the minister's reach to the social media generation. The result was the minister engaging in a public and massive question and answer session, which gave the minister access to some people who had never heard the teachings before. In a direct fashion, they were able to ask him questions and he answered via this brother. What that led to was this beautiful book I'm holding in my hand. It's called The Teachings 2.0, The Sayings of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. It is now available in volume 1 and 2. And we got some surprises. I didn't know about it just a moment ago. We got a surprise for you, and we'll share that with you in a moment. And let me just make these few quick last points. Not only is brother the compiler, the person who put this beautiful, majestic work together, he also has a podcast of the same name, The Teachings 2.0, which you can catch on his website, which we'll get into further. And last but not least, before we bring on our guest, he's appeared on countless programs that I've seen, I've studied and watched, where he was a witness and is a witness bearer to the goodness, the works, the character, the integrity of our father, the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan. Before I bring him on, let's share the show one more time. Let's share the show. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because now, with no further ado, I want you to join me in welcoming for the first time to the Rockwell Radio Show, my brother and yours, Abdul Qiyam Muhammad.
All praise is due to Allah. Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Wa alaikum salam, King. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited. I'm so excited. And I'll start the program with this tonight. And I said this on social media yesterday. I said it on a Facebook post that one of my dream jobs was to be a writer. And I always wanted to write for the hip hop magazine called The Source. And I ended up having a piece I wrote some time ago posted in the Final Call. And I was so proud. And one of the people that I modeled my writing after was Jesse Muhammad.
All praise is due to Allah. Wow.
With me tonight is Jesse Muhammad, or formerly Jesse Muhammad, now known to the world as Abdul Qiyam Muhammad. Welcome, welcome once again. If you're with us right now, watching from home, watching from work, or just listening in, share the show, because we're about to get into it and bear witness and have a good time while doing it. Big brother, let's begin with this. Can you educate us, and we'll call this an icebreaker, if you will. Share with us, and again, and I want to share this with the people at home too. As I said a moment ago, this is the first time that I've had an extended conversation with our dear brother. So a lot of the things that I'll hear tonight, I'll be hearing for the first time. And maybe some of the things that he'll say, you'll be hearing for the first time as well. So dear brother, if you will, icebreaker start. Share with us 3 things that it is probably likely that our audience doesn't know about Abdul Qiyam Muhammad.
Great point. First, I was born with the gift that I inherited from my mother by God's grace as an artist. So I have a history and legacy from a child of drawing, painting, all the way up until when I was a college student at Prairie View A&M University. I used to host art exhibits inside of the John B. Coleman Library every semester. So many in the Nation of Islam don't even know that I have that hidden artistic talent.
Who knew?
Right.
That's one.
I think that many don't know, some may have heard it already, that I thought that my purpose in life was to make it to the NBA. So I used to wear a t-shirt that said that basketball is life and the rest is just details. So when I was in middle school, I had a dream, a hoop dream, just like any young brother or sister in the hood.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I thought my purpose was in life, to be in the NBA. However, they decided, may Allah be forever pleased with our brother, but they decided to draft Kobe out of high school over me. You know, politics, brother. So
it was what it was. They made an okay choice.
Right, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, you know. But I definitely had a passion, and I actually was a part. I'll add this as the third one too. I played on a USA high school team that was selected from around the country of the top players to go and compete in a tournament in Germany for a whole week.
Wow.
And we took the actual title. So I was on a high school USA team coming out of high school. So that's just three little things about me, you know, art and love of basketball. So I had a love and basketball story.
Come on, brother. So I got to ask now, who's your favorite hooper?
So my favorite player of all time is Vernon Maxwell of the Houston Rockets. And a close second. Yeah, come on now. And a close second is Reggie Miller, because I patterned my game after Reggie Miller. That's why my basketball nickname was 3J, because I was a three-point shooter.
Did y'all hear that? Who knew that our great brother was a hooper? Who knew that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. But I'm not trying to challenge anybody out there. I had to retire. You know, the minister made me hang up my jersey after I had a little accident in 2018 before Savior's Day. But all I have to say is that, I broke my ankle.
Really? Oh, brother.
Yes, that was the first Savior's Day me and my family has ever missed. And I actually had my ankle broke while I was in Waxahachie. Shout out to Waxahachie study group.
Waxahachie.
We were hooping, Brother Ben and others, and I blocked somebody's shot, came down on their ankle, and the rest was history. So the minister,
right?
I'll share this jewel to let you all know how the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is such a humorous, loving man that when he found out about my injury and I was recovering, Brother Bun, he said, brother, he asked me how old I was at that time, and I told him, he said, didn't Kobe retire at that age? I said, yes, sir, Brother Minister. He said, well, you got better work to do for me than to be injuring yourself, so you hang your jersey up in the rafters with his. Come on. So the minister retired me for. So any brothers talking noise to me, you can go ahead and keep talking noise. I have been sanctioned to put down the basketball.
Everybody who's in the comments right now saying they're going to take it to him when they see him next, you can kill that thought right now.
You kill that noise. I haven't picked up the ball since 2018.
Wow. Dear brother, now here's one that I don't know that perhaps you can educate me and those who may not know either. Tell us the meaning of your name, Qiyam.
Yes. First, I have to thank our beloved minister, who in May of 2020, on the 29th day of Ramadan, he was inspired by Allah to give me the name Qiyam, which is rooted in Surah 75, which is Al-Qiyamah, which means the resurrection. And the minister told me that Qiyam means one who works and helps the resurrector, who is our father, he said, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And also, by the grace of Allah, I humbly thank our beloved minister that he allowed me to utilize the trumpet as the logo for the Teachers 2.0 podcast, which he has never, from what he shared with me, allowed anyone to utilize that trumpet, because you know he is the trumpet of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And that trumpet has only been used on the cover of the Final Call newspaper. So our beloved brother Jalil Muhammad, a wonderful brother and graphic designer and artist, he designed that logo. And so the minister said, since you asked for that trumpet and you got that trumpet, your name is, from now going forward, Brother Abdul Qiyam Muhammad. And he instructed me to go and study the name, which I did. He told me to go study Surah 75, study the root of it. And that's why I didn't immediately go to Facebook, Brother Bond, and post about it. Not that I wasn't excited. I was humble and I was frightened.
Yes, sir.
But he told me to study it. So I took 30 days to study it before even posting it and sharing it. So I'm humbled by our beloved minister that he would even see fit to give your brother that name. So I'm striving every single day to continue to serve the resurrector in this work of the resurrection.
Come on. Brother, wonderful testimony. Wonderful
Praise
story.
due to Allah.
Wow, wow, wow. You're tuned into the Rockwell Radio Show. This is DJ Rockwell, the nation's #1 DJ. And my guest tonight is a humble, beautiful black man, Abdul Qiyam Muhammad, live from Houston, Texas. Got a lot to talk about. And wow. Here, again, we were talking off mic before we began. And again, I'm learning so much that I just didn't know. And perhaps some of our viewers didn't know this as well. We obviously know your story in journalism, but which came first? And perhaps your answer will answer this question, but I'll ask it anyway. What came first for you? Becoming a registered member of the nation, or your love for journalism? Now we heard the story about Islam. Well, excuse me, we said that off mic. If you could tell that story again on mic, on camera, and tell us about your foray into journalism.
Well, I have to say that my informal training as a writer started as a child. I have an addiction to pens, which I got from my mother. I love pens.
Right.
And my blessed grandmother, may Allah forever be pleased with her, she was a stickler about teaching me about writing and cursive writing. You know, those days growing up, we had to master the art of cursive writing.
Listen.
So me having proper penmanship and putting words together, that was a passion of mine from a child. To the point, Brother Bond, I used to get paid either money or honey buns to write poems for my friends for Valentine's Day. I was a ghostwriter before Drake had them, dear brother. I used to ghostwrite Valentine's Day cards, love notes in middle school, high schools for friends. And when I got to college, you know, after I got introduced to the teachings, actually was in 1993, and I'll tell that story in a minute. But once I got to college, it was a professor who actually heard me speak. And she said, I think you're a poet. And she gave me my first poetry book. So I was one of those who helped start this Black Poetry Club on the campus of Prairie View A&M University. So as a lover of writer, a lover of words, my grandmother and my mother made me addicted to reading. So my informal training as a journalist started way before my byline got in the Final Call newspaper.
How about that? And
then, thanks be to Allah, it was in the 8th grade that my beloved brother Derek Muhammad, which I'm sure you're familiar with, our brother,
absolutely,
so strong as a follower and helper of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, just like us.
Yes, sir.
He started writing me letters from the U.S. Marines and telling me that he had changed his life and that he had stopped chasing women. He was changing his diet. But the thing that stood out to me, Brother Vaughn, my brother said that he started reading books. I said, reading books? Derek? Like, what? And he told me that when he got home, and he probably watching and laughing, but he told me when he got home, he would let me know this teaching that he got introduced to in the Marines. And so when he came home, I was 14, about to enter the 9th grade, and he became my basketball coach somewhat. You know, basketball coach for my brothers with me, beat me up all the time.
Come on now.
But on the way to us going to a center for me to practice, he put some man on in this audio cassette tape. And I heard the voice of a voice I've never heard in my life. And he was talking so strong. And I asked my brother, who is that? He said, that's Minister Farrakhan. I said, what kind of name is that? And I said, is he still alive? He said, absolutely. This was just 2 weeks ago. And brother, at that very moment, Allah is my witness. I said, man, I found the father I've been looking for.
Come on.
That one audio cassette tape, all praise due to Allah. I literally listened to that cassette tape every single day before every basketball game I had throughout my whole high school career. And it's called I Accept the Challenge. You can watch it on YouTube. I literally know that lecture verbatim.
Come on.
So my introduction to the teachings was through my brother Derek, and he didn't force it on me. He gave me the books. I came out to the mosque, and by the grace of Allah, I became a registered member 4 years later, 1997. Now, the final call, I don't know if you want me to...
No, happened.
With the final call, now this was based upon some spiritual set tripping. Now, I have to tell you, there is no paper greater on this planet than the final call.
Say that.
I used to get in trouble in high school in English class, so I apologize, Miss Taylor. But instead of reading those books, Macbeth and reading all that stuff, I had the final call paper in my book, reading it in class because I used to love it so much. Back in those days, we could tell you who took the picture on page 3 because we were instructed to read the paper from cover to cover because the minister said every edition is like a new novel. So I was addicted to the paper. The final call saved my life. So I love the final call. Well, as years went on, and Sister Dora Muhammad was the editor at that time, I wrote her a letter, Brother Bond. I said, look, I respect our central region and the East Coast, but there are other regions doing work. Can y'all put the Southwest region in? I mean, what is going on? So it was spiritual set tripping. You know, I'm like, can y'all highlight somebody else? And she wrote me back and said, well, why don't you write them? I said, well, wait a minute, sister, I ain't say all that. And she said, no, you write them. And all I started doing out of Houston in the Southwest region was doing what the messenger said. It was 5 things he said would make the Muhammad speak strong. And one of them is highlighting the success of his followers.
Come on.
So I started writing back in the final call. The section was accomplishments of the Muslims. All I did was write articles about what the believers was doing. That's how I started, not knowing our beloved minister was actually reading it. And Sister Dora was instructed to invite me up, to bring me up. And she told me that it's not because of my subject verb agreement. It wasn't because I didn't even study journalism. But the minister told her that he loved the spirit of my writings. And that's how my final call journey started, dear brother. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is a man who always sees more in us than we see in ourselves, he saw something in between the lines and the byline, brother. And that's how the journey started.
Wow.
All praise is due to Allah.
You're
nothing but Allah.
Radio Show. Wow. Our guest is Abdul Qiyam Muhammad. This is DJ Rockwell, and I'm so honored to have our brother here. I'm sorry, you about to say something again, big brother?
Oh, no, sir. I'm just getting in the spirit. That's all. Go ahead.
Brother, yes, brother. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to tell the people that if you're watching, no matter where you're watching from, go ahead and hit that like button, share, because tonight is special. Tonight is so special. And if you haven't subscribed to the show, may this be the night that you go ahead and click that subscribe button, because we have guests like the one you're watching right now, my guest, Abdul Qiyam Muhammad. Let's keep it moving. Sticking with the subject of journalism real quick. It's not every day, and you kind of just answered this question a little bit. So I kind of cut through the introduction of it. Tell me about, if it exists, what's it? Are there any pressures? What's it like to write for the baddest, boldest, blackest newspaper in the world, The Final Call?
Oh, it's absolute pressure. You're talking about contributing to a paper that's rooted in so many who gave their life and sacrificed to build that paper. First, starting with the final call to Islam, started by Master Father Muhammad.
Come on.
And taking it all the way through the legacy of the Muhammad Speaks newspaper. And then when we know the sacrifice of our dear minister and our first lady, Mother Khadijah Farrakhan, who is his best and greatest helper, and the sacrifice of all those on Damon Street in Chicago, and the minister mortgaging his own home, and all those that paved the way before a little person like myself came along, of course it's pressure. Because there's a standard when you write for the final call. This is not about writing for other regular newspapers, because when you write for the final call, you are to lead the reader to have a connectivity to the divine revelation that's been given to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Wow. That's not a lightweight thing, dear brother. So absolutely, submitting a story, you trembling, especially when you know the minister is reading it before it goes to print, you know? And absolutely, every editor I was blessed to serve under in those 10 years as a staff writer, everybody had a high standard, you know, dear brother, because that's what the final call represents. And of course, you know, when we get on the grounds, you know, like the Gina 6 story, and my first cover story was covering Hurricane Katrina. And brother, can you imagine I was just a Southwest regional correspondent. I wasn't thinking much of myself. And Sister Dora said that the minister wanted me to write that cover story for Hurricane Katrina. Brother, I was scared. And what did I do? Hey, the FOI, we meet and overcome all obstacles in our path. Brother, many may not know this, but they were not letting no news outlets inside the then Astrodome when our people came here from New Orleans.
Yes, sir.
So I had to get the story because the minister gave me an assignment via the editor. What did I do? I took off my bow tie and suit. I put on my jeans and a white tee, and I put my camera and my recorder in my back pocket, and I walked in like I was from New Orleans. And they didn't even know who I was. And I went inside, and the final call was the first news outlet to have pictures on the inside of the condition of our people inside the Astrodome. That's what the final call does.
Wow.
And when Sister Dora, all praises due to Allah, and when Sister Dora let the minister know what I did to get the story, to interview people, and I will say, this is the benefits of being a part of Muhammad Mosque number 45. My dear brother Abdul Qiyam Muhammad, and all that have worked on staff, you know, we had never been a mosque that stayed within four walls.
Come on.
So when I was going about interviewing people in the Astrodome, one of the police officers saw what I was doing. Come to find out, he already knew who I was based upon the work that we had been doing in the community. So he said, keep on going, brother. Go ahead. You good. I know who you are. All praise to Allah.
Let's get out of hand. Wow.
All praises due to Allah. So, dear brother, yes, there is nervousness in it because you're writing to reach God's people. And the final call has a high standard because why? The final call is not just a paper. The final call is a man that's delivering a word. And when you look on that paper, dear readers and guests, when you pick up that paper next time, you see one right behind me, I want you to look at the trumpet that's in the corner. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad dropped that seed on the minister at a dinner table when he told him, brother, if I would pick any symbol to represent my work or my mission, I would choose the trumpet because it represents resurrection. Then he said, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad started talking to somebody. Then he came back to him and said, and brother, have it coming out of the corner of the page. This is prior to 1975. The minister didn't know what he was talking about. But here he was saying that Allah, he said, could not have given him a better helper than he got in the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So the minister is the trumpet. And when you look at the symbol of the trumpet on the final call, you see that sound coming out of it, but you don't see the blowing behind it. That means there's an unseen power that's controlling the word that's coming through the mouth of the trumpeter, man. Somebody's in control of the tune. So you got to know when you write for the final call, you're representing the best of what represents the most honorable Elijah Muhammad's mission, man. So the final call is not something to play with at all. And I did not take for granted those 10 years, that decade of serving on staff. And I still don't take for granted pushing it online wherever I can, because that's the best and greatest paper anybody can receive. All praise is due to Allah.
Did you all hear what this brother just said? Show some brother some love in the comment section. Throw some hearts up for our brother if y'all enjoyed that.
All praise is due to Allah.
Show some love to our brother. This is DJ Rockwell, the nation's #1 DJ. You're tuned in to the Rockwell Radio Show. This is the place where the music meets the mission. And my guest right here, that's Abdul Qiyam Muhammad, y'all. We're getting almost to the halfway point, everyone. And I want to try to get in another question or two before we go to break. And Big Dave, pay attention, because brother dropped something on me that I didn't know. And I guess I'll take the pause now to stop and tell everyone this. Brother, let me stop the music. Brother has some giveaways of the book that he's going to be giving away right here on the Rockwell Radio Show. The Teachings 2.0, volumes 1 and 2. He's giving away 3 sets. And after the break, I'm going to tell you how you can win. This is that kind of show. This is going to be that kind of show. I'm going to tell you how you can win. But let me ask this question. We'll talk just briefly about social media, Brother Qiyam. It's obviously changed the way that we communicate with one another. And platforms like YouTube, of course, you used that platform as your central point to advocate, to promote, and what's the word?
Propagate. Maybe.
To propagate the faith through YouTube. And you share on your site just how successful you became, as I mentioned in the introduction. 47,000 subscribers, over 14 million combined views. Any content creator would love to say they had numbers like that. Tell us how you built such a successful channel. And when did you know that these people about to give me a problem?
You know, in our Supreme Wisdom Lessons of the Nation of Islam, in talking about a she, which we know we're taught that she, like in scripture, represents the messenger of God. It said that she will teach you quickly any course you may desire.
Yes, sir.
I have to credit the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan again for guiding me to grow the channel up to 74,000 subscribers and over 14 million views. It was him, dear brother. And this would happen after he spoke on July the 21st, 2019, when he had the beautiful white suit on with the green fez.
Yes.
And you know, he talked about Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein and the synagogue of Satan. So at that time, Brother Vaughn, I wasn't even utilizing my YouTube channel that much at all. Wow. I was focused on the other platforms. And so the minister, I was blessed to get a phone call from him. And brother, just before that, I had posted a clip I made about Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein. And YouTube sent me a message saying that I had one strike. And if I got two more, they was gonna terminate me. Boy, I was beating my chest. So I couldn't wait to tell our teacher that I was about to get banned. And so I said, Brother Minister, may I share something with you? And I said, Brother Minister, I got my first strike on my channel. I only had a couple hundred subscribers at that time, dear brother. And I said, they threatened me that if I post anything else like that, they're gonna terminate me. And I said, Brother Minister, I'm gonna force them to terminate me. I can't wait. The minister said, well, you know, brother, my mother said, when you want to climb a mountain, you can't use a racehorse. You got to use a sleuth-foot donkey. And he said, do you got the lesson, son? I said, no, sir, Brother Minister. He said, brother, we've already proven that we could be strong with the truth. You've proven that. Look at what they've been doing with us against us online all this time.
Come on.
He said, brother, why don't you use strategy with your YouTube channel and see what happens? He said, the point my mother was making is, even if you have to use a donkey, the objective is to get where you need to go. He said, did you get the lesson? I said, I think I do, Brother Minister. He said, use strategy, son, and let's see how that works. Now look at the strategist. He shifts my mind. What did I do as a student? I started studying the algorithms of YouTube, man. These people have been waging algorithmic war against the minister and the Nation of Islam since the minister joined Twitter, brother. So metaverse is nothing new to me, with all due respect. They've been waging metadata war against the minister since he's been on Twitter, Facebook, and taken off Instagram. So this thing is not new for those of us that have been really paying attention to this social media information war that's been going on for a long time. So brother, I'm shifted because he gave me instruction. So I went and started studying a donkey going up a mountain, and I started thinking about him and saying that the messenger told him that one day he's gonna reach the pinnacle of success. Then he put me on an assignment to study what it takes to climb Mount Everest. All this connecting.
Wow.
See, brothers and sisters, I don't care how much of a master we think we are in our fields. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan does not have to major in your field to tell you how to do it better.
Come on.
So my success, Brother Vaughn, has been to humble myself. The minister taught me how to use social media better. He taught me how to blog better. how to write better, how to be more strategic better. Because why? The lesson said she'll teach you any course you may desire. She'll teach you quickly. So it's because of his strategy that the channel grew. And it became November 2020. That's when they did an outright assault on the Criterion message all across YouTube. They sent all of the believers and guests and supporters, including Dr. Boyce Watkins, Brother Ben, Brother Reza, Brother Willie in New Orleans, anybody that had any kind of traffic with the Criterion, even believers that had 10 subscribers. They took us all down at the same time on the same day, brother. Orchestrated.
Are y'all listening?
Come on, y'all got to pay attention. And so therefore, after that, brother, they started banning me 7 days a week, 14 days, 30 days, man. And it just went on. And finally, the last death knell to them was after Savior's Day, I posted that COVID-19 plenary session. And on March the 8th, they sent me a notification and said that I was completely terminated, brother, after reaching 74,000 subscribers. But it was too late. You know, I want to share something that I don't talk about publicly, brother. But not only were I blessed to reach millions of people and thousands of subscribers with the word, brother, I was blessed to raise thousands of dollars for my Savior's Day gift just from my YouTube channel, brother.
Listen.
See, I'm not afraid to ask people to give to our teacher because the enemy is not afraid to fundraise off of him by slandering him. So I utilized that channel to the fullest. So by the time they took me down, it was too late. So I consider it an honor. And I'll close with this.
Come on. Wow.
In the book of John, go students, go read the book of John 15. Before we start gloating about ourselves being censored and they taking us down, this, that, and other, Jesus said, if the world hates you, understand that it hated me first. So the minister is the #1 censored person in the world.
Listen.
So the only reason anybody would fix their lips to say hate against us as students is because they hated him first. So let's not get beside ourselves when we get censored because it's all about him. So he said to me, by the grace of Allah, when he asked me how I felt about it, I said, I consider it an honor, brother minister. They've been censoring and shadow banning you since 2011. They took you off Instagram, Facebook. They took all our Nation of Islam accounts down. I consider it an honor, but I said, brother minister, they hated you first.
Wow.
So it ain't about us. That's why he said, if I be lifted up. So that's why we got to keep reading the word because that'll help us with our ego tripping at times, you know? I could have been out there telling everybody, look, that was my account, this, that, and other. I built it up. No, I didn't. I followed a man's instructions. I tried my best to use it with respect like him, no filth. And after they did that, I went right to the scripture and said, if you're following Jesus, you should expect this. But don't think it's about you. It's about him.
Listen.
All praise is due to Allah.
Wow.
Allahu Akbar.
Brother, are you all paying attention? I hope to God that you are. You are tuned into the Rockwell Radio Show. My guest is none other than Abdul Qiyam Muhammad. And we dropping bombs today. Brother, we're right in front of the break. And I want to, again, welcome everybody to the show. Share the show once again. Don't go away because, well, I'm almost beside myself with what we just said. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscription button today. And now, even after what I just heard, I don't even know if I should say that anymore. If you're watching,
we got to keep using the platform. Keep using them, brother. Got to keep using them.
Right. So I tell you what, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to break, people. And what we're going to do is at the latter half of the show, we're going to ask some hip hop questions. This is a hip hop show, by the way. Yeah, we're going to ask some hip hop trivia questions. We might throw in matter of fact, we'll also mix them with some NOI history questions. And if you answer the questions correctly, and here's how to answer, you have to call in live to the show on the number that's going to be at the bottom of your screen. And we want to hear your answer in person. And that is how you will be the winner of Volume 1 and Volume 2 of the Teachings 2.0, the Twitter sayings of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We're going to go to break. Don't go away. We will be right back.
This is your brother Willie Muhammad, and I'm asking each and every one of you all to tune into the DJ Rockwell Show, live online. Peace.
Peace. This is your sister Aisha, the mental resurrectionist, hailing out of Baltimore, Maryland. Listen, whenever I'm online, I always tune into the Rockwell Radio Show. It's that hype. It's that dopeness. And you should tune in too. Peace to my brothers David and DJ Rockwell for holding it down, locking it down, giving us those sounds. Love y'all. Peace.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Sister Latasha Muhammad, and when I'm online, I rock with the Rockwell Radio Show.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call Radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button, or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
Welcome back. This is DJ Rockwell, the nation's number one DJ. You're tuned into the Rockwell Radio Show, where the music meets the mission. And right here next to me with us as my guest is our brother Abdul Qiyam Muhammad. And we are lighting a spiritual fire, and we're hoping that you are feeling the heat from wherever that you are. Brother Qiyam, we're going to take a second to do something different. In honor of your presence today, me and Big Dave decided that today will be a good day to launch a new segment of the show.
All right.
The producer Big Dave is somewhat of a formidable MC. So we decided that what if we took the headlines of the Final Call and we put them into hip hop fashion and rhyme the headlines. And we rolled the idea around for several months. And we came up with something that I think that the people might like. So for all of you all watching, prepare yourselves for something brand new on the Rockwell Radio Show in honor of our guest, Abdul Qiyam Muhammad, veteran writer of the Final Call. We now go to Big Dave, who's now going to give us the headlines of the Final Call. Watch this.
This is Big Dave C with your Final Call News headlines on the Rockwell Radio Show. Here we go. The Criterion. It's been about a year since Minister Farrakhan said, don't take these warp speed experiments. They say the deaths are acceptable. See how many survive? Try saying that with those at 9/11 that died. American policing rages out of control. Still, cops freely exercise their urge to kill, whether sitting, standing, walking, or even sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. And don't be misled about those objects in the sky. So many sightings that the governments can no longer lie. They tried to keep it above top secret, but for decades, Mr. Muhammad has been teaching it. Tulsa, 100 years later, we must unite and come back with one greater. Victims remain uncompensated and lost. No criminals were ever found to pay the cost. A modern-day ark lands in Atlanta, where Brother Abdul Sharif Muhammad is commander. A black-owned business with groceries and books. When you're in the Atlanta area, come through and take a look. Read these stories and more. Truth is vital to all. Go online and subscribe to your Final Call.
Big Dave. Big Dave.
Oh, man. Come on, man.
The Rockwell Radio Show.
Come on, man. That's what I'm talking about, brother. That's like the basement with Tigger. Yo, MTV Raps, Muslim style, brother. Brother got in the booth with it. I love it. I love it, brother.
To Allah. Praise be to Allah. So you all saw it first here, and give us your feedback in the comment section. We want to know, should we keep doing that? Should we keep pursuing that? And we want to hear from you. So again, our guest today is Abdul Qiyam Muhammad, and we're going to get into part 2 as we start making our way into the second half here. Let's get into your podcast. And I want to introduce it by playing a quick snippet. If you have never heard our brother's podcast, it is absolutely incredible. Take a watch, take a quick listen to this.
The man.
I can stand here for hours. Ask me questions. I don't care what it is you want to know.
The teacher.
I've answered over 5,000 questions on Twitter, and I've never known the questions in advance.
And the message.
I wait for my Father to feed me. And whatever he tells me to say, that I say. And whatever he bids me to do, that I do.
It's the Teachings 2.0 podcast with your host, Brother Abdul Qiyam Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Welcome to another edition of the Teachings 2.0 podcast. I'm your host, Brother Abdul Qiyam Muhammad. This podcast is inspired by the life-giving teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is the trumpet of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the mouthpiece of God. Their mission is the resurrection of the mentally and spiritually dead.
That is the Teachings 2.0 podcast with our brother Abdul Qiyam.
All praise is due to Allah.
I've listened, brother, and I was blown away. Big shout out to my big brother Jay DeLay.
That's right.
Love
That's
my
right.
brother Jay DeLay. It's transparent. It's personal. You brother, you bear your soul and bearing witness to the man of God. And the question I want to ask, when you began this particular assignment, this mission, this task to do this podcast, what was your goal? What did you set out for the listener to walk away with after pressing play?
You know, dear brother, I have to thank Allah for our brother Jay DeLay. You know, this is all Allah's doing, dear brother. His hand is in it. Because I had been thinking about doing a podcast, but in 2019, Brother Jay and I was having a conversation, and I had actually had him and another brother put together a promo to promote the Teachers 2.0 volumes 1 and 2 books. And the brother said in a phone call, he said, brother, why haven't you started a podcast yet? And I had it on my mind. So when he said it, it was confirmation that Allah wanted this to happen. And I went to our brother's home to have a meeting to try to go over what I had laid out and planned. And Brother Jay actually beat me up, brother. He pushed me in the closet, in his studio.
Right then, right
and
there.
He was telling me to practice. And he said, you got the spirit naturally, just go in the booth. Go in there, let's start, let's record now. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, brother. But I did it and just submitted to our brother, you know. Right, and right. I want to let everybody know, like, me and Jay didn't just meet. He been knowing me since I was a teenager, too.
Really?
You know, that's how, yes. Jay been knowing me since I was a high schooler. So all that to say is that it was getting with him, and he took me in. That I had never done that before. I had a little encounters being on the radio with my dear brother, Brother Zen, who made this transition some years ago. He used to have me on his show. It used to be a segment called The Word with Brother Jesse on KPFT, then on his own station, All Real Radio, that I helped to inspire him to launch. And so I didn't have really a serious background. So Brother Jay, I knew his skill set and background. So I just submitted to our brother, and he forced me to record that same day and just got on me, worked me, and everything like that. And I just listened to our brother. He told me that I was the only person that when he encountered them like that and he said, get in the booth, I was the only one that actually did it. Because I'm a student like that, dear brother. I love to learn. I like being challenged. In truth, I challenge myself so much that I don't mind critique. I don't mind being challenged. So he wasn't easy on me. Definitely, because he's serious about his work. That's why he can do what he do, because he don't play around with his craft. And so with that, Allah inspired our brother to put together a demo for the minister to listen to, dear brother. And it's the minister. Now, look, I didn't start this podcast without the permission of the minister.
Listen.
Number one, the logo had the trumpet. Number two, I work for the minister. We wanted to seek his guidance, his approval, and he heard that demo. And when the minister heard it, he cleared us to use the trumpet, and he gave me permission to go forward with the podcast. So I thank Allah for our brother Jay DeLay. Allah arranged for us to come together to do this. And let me tell you, Brother Vaughn, I'm so blessed, man, to have all of these enriching, unbelievable experiences with the minister, Mother Khadijah, the family. And who am I to keep it to myself, knowing that soldiers before me and soldiers that came up with me, who've been holding posts outside in the snow, holding posts at Savior's Day on a back door that's locked and never heard a lecture, a sister who is soldiering and serving on charity, a brother who has held doorposts but never shook the minister's hand, never been at his dinner table, never been at the farm, never been at the palace, never received a phone call from him. So who am I to think that I'm going to keep these blessings to myself? No, I'm obligated to get on the witness stand and share whatever I can with my fellow brothers and sisters, to let them know that the same man that you see in public is surely the same man in private. So I don't take it for granted in any time. And that's why I don't care if it's an interview, a rostrum, in the streets or whatever, every place is a witness stand. Because wherever I go, I can't help but bear witness to that man. So that's my gratitude. And I thank our beloved minister so much for allowing a wretch like me to serve,
like us,
to allow me to be invited into the inner sanctum of moments that me, myself, coming up the way me and my family came up, I wouldn't have never imagined these things for my life. So that's my way of showing gratitude to Allah, that I thank you, Allah.
For one moment, I got a message that my batteries, I got to replug my laptop up. Bear with us one moment. In this moment, I'm going to run that Dave piece one more time. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
This is Big Dave C with your Final Call News headlines on the Rockwell Radio Show. Here we go. The criterion. It's been about a year since Minister Farrakhan said, don't take these warp speed experiments. They say the deaths are acceptable. See how many survive? Try saying that with those at 9/11 that died. American policing rages out of control. Still, cops freely exercise their urge to kill, whether sitting, standing, walking, or even sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. And don't be misled about those objects in the sky. So many sightings that the governments can no longer lie. They try to keep it above top secret, but for decades, Mr. Muhammad has been teaching it. Tulsa, 100 years later, we must unite and come back with one greater. Victims remain uncompensated and lost. No criminals were ever found to pay the cost. A modern-day ark lands in Atlanta, where brother Abdul Qiyam Muhammad is commander. A black-owned business with groceries and books. When you're in the Atlanta area, come through and take a look. Read these stories and more. Truth is vital to all. Go online and subscribe to Your Final Call.
We're back. Sorry about that, family. I didn't realize that my power cord had fallen out of my laptop and the whole show was going to be over. So I apologize for interrupting what you were saying, that beautiful comment. Would you please finish that comment you were making?
I have no idea. I was just showing my gratitude.
Yes, sir.
You know, I just thank our beloved minister, dear brother.
Yes.
And I just want everybody to know that this form of witness bearing, it didn't come from me. It's in his pedagogy.
Come on.
He's told us that he's very careful when quoting the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And when he tells us things of his experiences with the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, he paints the picture for us. So the word drills down in us so that when he tells the story, we can actually see and feel him sitting with the teacher. I heard him say that. So if I'm a striving witness bearer, then I want to strive to follow the model that's in front of me that is the model.
Listen.
Because the messenger said, I want you to pay close attention to his preaching because it is a bearing of witness of what I teach.
Right.
So the messenger instructed us to pay close attention to the minister. So that means that he is the blueprint, the standard in all facets. So this form of witness bearing, when believers give me their feedback and things, I say, I learned it from him.
Right.
Watching him, you know, so, and it's the love, dear brother. It's not a superficial thing. It's that love that just drives you so much to just want to keep sharing and talking that even if your family or your friends or even if fellow believers may not understand it, but you can't help yourself. And that's how I am, you know, dear brother. I love to tell those stories, you know, like that, because I want the believers to be able to travel with me. And those of us that have had these experiences, we should not keep it to ourselves. Because the first thing that triggered this, and I know we almost out of time, my first dinner with the minister in December of 2010.
Oh, brother, I'm on your
in
time.
Memphis.
By the way, go ahead.
All praise is due to Allah. One thing he said to me, he looked at that time, he said, Brother Jesse, when did we start asking permission to bear witness to a man that saved our lives, brother? He said, when did we start asking permission? I said, I don't know, brother minister. And he looked at me and he was very fierce. He said, brother, you don't ask permission. He said, that's the problem. I'm surrounded by too many silent, weak witnesses.
Come on.
That was my first dinner with him. So he drilled that in me from December 2010. And my mind was like, I'm not going to be a silent witness. And I had no idea what was in store and what was ahead there, brother. So I challenge and call on all of the witnesses and fellow witnesses. Man, get on the witness stand.
Yes.
What are you and I waiting for? Well, no. You owe it to your fellow believers who sacrificing, giving charity. They love the minister. They want to feel closer to him. Why are you holding back?
Listen.
Man, tell it. Get on the mountaintop. Let the whole world know. And don't care about what anybody thinks, because soon and very soon they will understand. It's just love. Sweet love.
I'm going to skip a question. So, because I don't want to keep you longer than I said.
I'm on your time, brother. I'm fine. Go ahead, brother. I'm good. Look, and I'm going to let you know, look, I've been blessed over these last 3 years to be experimenting with eating every other day, brother.
Come on now.
And today happened to be my eat day, so I got into bean soup and salad before we came on, so I'm good for right now, brother. So we on your time.
Okay, I promise I won't keep you too longer after the hour.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
This is DJ Rockwell, the nation's #1 DJ. With me is a wonderful, beautiful black man. For today, we're going to call him 5,000 because his smile, his spirit is beaming on 5,000 watts. Our brother Abdul Qiyam Muhammad. And we're going to start giving away in just a few moments. We're going to put the phone number up. We're going to give away some copies of the Teachings 2.0. But you have to be able to call in and answer our questions. Now, speaking of the Teachings 2.0, I absolutely love the introduction. It's a book in itself.
All praise is due to Allah.
In the introduction, you talk about your intrepidation of taking on such an assignment from the minister. And in fact, in one part of it, you compare yourself to Jonah. Can you walk us through that moment of when you got the actual direct request / assignment from the minister to take him and his work to social media?
Yes, sir. The minister gave me a spiritual subpoena.
Come on.
And he said, after the first year of him answering questions, he said, brother, it looks like you got an encyclopedia on your hands.
Come on.
And see, the minister, he has this keen ability of giving you direct orders, but they're couched in gentle suggestions. And if you're not paying attention as a student, you'll miss the order that he gave you, and then you'll find yourself being asked, did you carry out the instruction? But you thought he was just saying something.
Listen, y'all.
Remember, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, as the minister teaches us, pointed at his lips and said, these are not made to speak idle words. So the same thing applies to the minister. So I said, oh, he's talking about putting this together in books. Then he said, and brother, because you have been the only one on the phone with me, asking me these questions without me knowing them in advance. He said, you're the only witness of that, brother. He said, nobody has this experience but you. So he said, you must write an introduction for every single volume that come out because you have a story to tell.
Come on.
Brother, I was so nervous because, you know, the Holy Quran teaches us that we're not supposed to raise our voice above the messenger.
That's right.
So I didn't want my little writings to come before these divinely inspired answers to people's questions from around the world. Who want to read what I want to write? No, let them get right to his divinely inspired answers. I don't want to get in the way.
Right.
But I got a spiritual subpoena and I couldn't run no more. I got a direct order. And by the grace of Allah, the minister, as you stated, has answered well over 5,000 questions via Twitter, Facebook, combined. And these, brother, is just a few hundred of them in volume 1 and 2. We still have enough in the collection of these hadiths. That's right. I'm saying it. These hadiths.
That's right. We heard you loud and clear.
Well over 15 more volumes at minimum can still be produced and put out.
Wow.
Of his question and answers, dear brother.
I take that question off my list. Okay. Wow.
By the grace of Allah. And this is a collection where, again, I am a witness. The minister has never known any of these questions in advance, Brother Vaughn. He has spent time even calling me as late as midnight at times, calling me as early as 5 in the morning, calling me before a doctor's appointment, calling me before a laborer's meeting, calling me when he was in Jamaica, calling me when he was on his way to Haiti, all because he loved so much of feeding the people his father's word that he didn't like getting behind on your questions, brothers and sisters.
Listen.
So when you get this book, and if you read in all of the testimonies we've gotten since these first volume came out in 2014, you gotta know that this man is being fed from on high. If he didn't know the question in advance, who's feeding him that it would touch you no matter what page you flip to in his books?
Come on.
See, my blessed grandmother, see, we never know how Allah having his hand on us to prepare us for our work. But my blessed grandmother and my family can bear witness to this. She always kept those little daily bread books, Brother Bond.
Yes, sir.
And you know the daily bread book, it had that scripture from the Bible, which most of us didn't read the Bible, but we would read that little verse.
Right.
Then it would have a little cartoon drawing with it for the children so we can understand. Then it would give you the lesson of the day.
Listen.
My grandmother would make me read them daily breads all the time because it was the way to spoon feed the child the Bible, because she knew we wouldn't read that whole book, but it was a science to it. Who would have thought your little brother will be helping to put this collection of daily bread together and put it in a small, all praises due to Allah, put it in a small size that it attracts the target market of the young people, that when we gave it to them for free in the schools, in the streets, wherever we have went and shipped it to them, they could put it right in their back pocket. But brothers are a witness that as soon as they get the book, they open up to it and read it because it's in a format like daily bread. Oh, brothers and sisters, we are blessed. So this is manna from heaven. So I have to keep getting on the witness stand. So by Allah's grace, every volume that comes forward with the permission of the minister will have an introduction and a different testimony for your brother, because he said, I have a story to tell.
We are going to open up the phone lines in just a moment from now to give away this daily bread. In just a moment from now, I want to close out this segment about asking about the process, those questions. You share with us in the introduction as well the great joy that the minister had with answering these questions. Can you share with us a bit more, something about his drive and his love when it comes to this work and his people?
Oh, I've never witnessed a human being in my life that is so driven like the minister. You talking about what fuels the sun?
Come on.
It's the same thing that fuels the minister.
Wow.
When the minister makes up his mind that he is going to accomplish a task, he don't let nothing get in the way, brother, related to his mission. And he is so in love with what he does that literally I have witnessed that members of his staff has had to try to help to save the minister from himself, brother, because he can't help himself, man. We'll be on the phone. Imagine a man. He's in Michigan on Eastern Standard Time. I'm here in Houston on Central. I get a call at nearly 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Come on, brothers and sisters. Most of us may be asleep by then.
Right.
But he had so many meetings that day, and he had 50 questions that were still sitting. He said he couldn't sleep comfortably, Brother Vaughn, because he did not make his word bond by answering those 50 questions. So no matter how tired he was, he wanted to answer those 50 questions before he went to bed, brothers and sisters.
Wow.
What kind of man who is traveling on a tour, the Caribbean, and then going to Haiti for the first time? He calls me in advance, has Brother Joshua to call me to make sure I got an international plan on my phone, because in the midst of his tour, the minister was going to be scheduling time to answer questions from across seas, from Haiti.
Wow.
See, that's dedication.
Listen.
That's love, man. He is the epitome, of it. And so people wonder, looking at me like, why I can't sit still. And before, of course, this pestilence, people are always like, brother, where you traveling at? Where you at, brother? Are you in the city? How could you, what effect do you think it will have on me to have that going in my ear, my spirit, my soul every single week? What do you think it would do to me? It makes you want to try to be like him. No matter, even if we've been in our chambers or sheltered in place, the work hasn't stopped, and it hasn't stopped for him. He just called me a couple of days ago by the grace of Allah, talking about work, man. So his drive,
come on,
it's contagious. But I have to tell you this: the minister has fun too. The minister has a sense of humor in his work. This is a labor of love for the minister. So he could be in a serious moment and crack a joke with me too while he's doing his work. So he's so in love with it too, brother. And I'll say this lastly, man, the Just Zales tour. And I always bring up this tour because it was the first tour experience I had, with the exception of one city. I was on the entire tour with the minister in travel. That had never happened to me. So the Just Sales tour is so dear to me. And I'm so grateful for the minister allowing me and us to travel. Something happened on that tour that he talked about in his keynote address at 10-10-15. And as many of you that's watching, I'm going to keep calling you out. You on that tour and you watched the minister contract pneumonia, man.
Listen.
He had pneumonia. I ain't no medical expert, but I know pneumonia has killed people. And the minister, people was calling and pleading with him when we were in Detroit, asking him to go home, to shut it down. Let one of his other students do it. And the minister was just laughing. And we were sitting there. It was others. You were at that table. The minister said, they don't understand. You don't understand. If I don't do this, I'll die. I have to do this. He said, I can't let no little pneumonia punk me. Then there was one time he was going into a procedure dealing with his heart condition, man. He called me talking about the letter that he ended up writing to J Electronica. He's about to be rolled on a stretcher, on a bed into a procedure. He's dictating a letter to me on the phone. And he said, brother, I can't let no little procedure stop me. See, brothers and sisters, you got to understand, man. This ain't about us just acting like this some kind of celebrity and, y'all just some fanatics, this, that, and other, man. You got to look at the divinity of what is happening through this man that's affecting young people like us, man. And I just pray that the more I testify, because again, brother, and I've been, this whole time I've done good holding back tears. But because people just don't understand, but you got to think about it. If he's answered over 5,000 questions that he's never known in advance, and I've been on the phone for every single one of them, what kind of effect will that have on somebody that's striving to submit themselves to the master teacher, man? So I don't say much of it, brother. I just strive to bear witness. But I show my gratitude by striving to just work as hard as I can every single day. Because I know I wouldn't have a family if it were not for that man.
Right.
I wouldn't have what I have were it not for that man. And I don't care what anybody say. I'm not afraid to say it. It's because of him. And I'm happy to say that. So that man is a case study. If you want to know what grind looks like, what work ethic looks like,
look at him.
What love looks like. If you having down moments, believer, look at your teacher.
Look at him.
Go read and study his life. Look at his pedagogy. In that, you will find the drive. You don't need a meme on Instagram to get you fired up. Just go study the life of the minister. That's the only fire I need.
Wow.
Because once I get a lit of that, man, y'all talk about waking up with Folgers in your cup. No. Give me some of that Farrakhan in my cup. Come on, man.
Come on, brother.
All praises due to Allah.
I hope that you all are catching some of this fire.
Excuse me, family.
If you are watching right now, throw a fire emoji in the comment section. If you feeling the flames coming from Houston, Texas right now from Brother Abdul Qiyam. Oh, my God.
All praises due to Allah, brother.
Let's move toward a conclusion.
Yes, sir.
I'd have forgot where I was.
All praises due to Allah.
We're going to put the phone number up on the screen.
Come on now.
And then I ask my last question after that. How about that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's get to the giveaway. And Big Dave, I wasn't expecting this, so I'm a bit unprepared. And we're gonna do this on the fly and make it work.
All right, now don't ask no Jay-Z questions because I'll win that. Shout out to Brother Student Minister Willie.
The number is on your screen right now. 404-919-7399. 404-919-7399. We're going to ask 3 questions because brother has 3 sets of books to give away. Am I right?
3 sets. That's right.
Now, what we're doing is giving away 3 sets of the Teachings 2.0. We want to give away some of this bread.
Come on now.
Thank you, Brother Abdul Qiyam, for you choosing this show, this time, to give away such a powerful, powerful work.
All praise due to Allah.
Now, I'm going to ask a hip-hop question, and I want you to think of an NOI trivia question. And we're going to see if the phone ring or not.
Yes.
So I know most of you all watch the show on your phone, so y'all got to think of something to do. We give you all a few seconds to go from your phone to your laptop if you're close to one. But here's the first question. everybody knows that LL Cool J is my GOAT. He's my number one. Now, we're going to give away the set number one to the first person who rings this phone and can name LL Cool J's first 3 album titles. Dave, you cannot play. The question again is, who can name LL Cool J's first 3 albums title? The titles. This test will be for who is out there that are LL fans, and who going. And no, I ain't taking no arguments on whether LL is a GOAT or not. The number on your screen is where you can call, and the phone is ringing right now. The phone is ringing. You are live on the Rockwell Radio Show. With whom am I speaking?
You're speaking to Brother Todd.
Brother Todd. What a coincidence that his name is Todd. Brother Todd, thanks for listening. Can you answer the question? What are LL's first 3 album titles?
All right. First, I just want to give Brother Qiyam the greetings. And just every time he comes on, he is just so full of life, bearing witness of the minister. And I just couldn't remove myself from the video screen, bro. I had to go to the bathroom, but I refused to go to the bathroom until he was done bearing witness. That's powerful.
All praise is due to Allah. Thank you, dear Brother Todd. Thank you. All praise due to Allah.
That smile you have, brother, is awesome. I look in the mirror every day trying to imitate that smile.
5,000 watts. So come on with it, Brother Todd. Can you tell us the answer?
First 3 albums, radio.
1.
Second album, Bigger and Differ.
That's 2.
Third album, Walking with the Panther.
He got it. Brother Todd, you've got a set of books coming to your address. The Teachings 2.0 volumes 1 and 2. Brother, here's what I want you to do. I want you to inbox me immediately after the show, and we'll connect and figure out how we're going to get these to you. Thank you for listening to the Rockwell Radio Show, Brother Todd.
Brother Todd.
Dave, I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know, Big Dave. But we're having fun right now.
Yes,
and now
sir.
we're going to go to Houston, Texas. And maybe it's unfair that it's an NOI trivia question, because all of the people who listen to the Rockwell Radio Show aren't registered members of the NOI, which is why I had to balance it with a little hip hop. So we're going to give this one to Brother Abdul Qiyam. Take it away.
Okay, so this trivia question, we'll keep it in tune with the Teachers 2.0. I won't ask the exact date, but can anybody say what is the month and year that the minister's Twitter account was officially launched?
Ooh, they have to have read Volume 1 to answer that question, right?
Right. It's right in there.
And it's right there in the introduction.
We about to find out now.
The phone number, if you know the answer to the question, is 404-919-7399. The number is on your screen. You're listening to the Rockwell Radio Show with our guest, Abdul Qiyam Muhammad, and we are giving away 3 sets of this fantastic daily bread. The Teachings 2.0, the Twitter sayings of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Brother, will you ask that question for them one more time?
Yes. What month and year did the minister's Twitter account officially launch?
The question is what we've got a phone ring. Let's see. You're live on the Rockwell Radio Show. Who's speaking?
I didn't want to double dip, but this is Brother Todd again.
We didn't set the parameters. We didn't set the rules, Brother Todd, but I can't let you say twice, Brother Todd.
But Todd trying to rock the bells for real.
Okay.
So we can't. Should we let Todd? No, we can't let Todd answer. We got to give him a chance to call. So thanks, brother Todd. Good try though. Can someone else other than Todd who wants to take a shot at answering this question?
Wow.
Did Brother Qiyam stomp all of the Rockwell Radio Show listenership?
Man.
Did he stomp the listenership? Or maybe, because like I said, a lot of those watching this show watch on their phone. Maybe we should also extend the opportunity to those who can comment the answer.
Yes.
So,
yes, sir.
So for this answer, let's go to the comments. Who in the comments can answer the question? And they're asking one more time in the comment section, brother, to restate the question.
What month and year did the minister's Twitter account officially launch?
And I am searching and watching, and the first person that comes up with an answer, I'm going to put it on the screen, and he's going to tell us whether that's the correct answer or not. Big Dave. Oh, I see one.
Uh-oh.
Tell me if this answer is accurate.
That is incorrect, and I'm a fight Brother Hannibal for missing the answer. Oh, he in trouble. He know that.
Here's another one.
That is correct. Mosplo in the house.
Come on now. Let's go. Let's go.
Go ahead, Brother Jeffrey. That's Mosplo, Austin, Texas.
Brother Jeffrey B. Muhammad, inbox me right after the show, my brother, and you've got a set coming right to your door of the Teachings 2.0. Thank you for watching the Rockwell Radio Show, my brother. All right. Now, again, I didn't plan for this, so I have to think of one more question. Oh,
yes, sir.
Now the phone want to ring.
Oh, they know the answer now.
Welcome to the Rockwell Radio Show. Who's calling?
Brother Brandon, 5X.
Brother Brandon, did you know the answer, Brother Brandon?
March 2011.
And that was the answer, correct, Brother Derek? Brother Abdul Qiyam?
Yes, sir. That's the answer.
Okay, brother. Had you called in a few seconds earlier, brother.
Oh man, brother.
Hey, we'll give it to him.
Phone, brother.
We'll still give it to him.
Look at that. Brother has added an additional set of books for this black man on the phone. Brandon, you will still receive a set of books just for being a good brother and calling in to the Rockwell Radio Show. Inbox me immediately after the show. Inbox me immediately after the show. Thank you for watching the show, my brother.
Praise be to Allah.
Salam alaikum. Yes, sir.
Hey.
You are tuned into the Rockwell Radio Show. We're having a ball right now, giving away copies of the Teachings 2.0 with Brother Abdul Qiyam. I'm having a great time, and we're going to pose the last question. And we're going to make this question a hip-hop trivia question. Now, I'm going to make this an easy question. But the answer, you have to call the number on your screen to win. So again, if you're watching via phone, you better get to a laptop. You better free your phone. Now, in the Run DMC song, Rock Box. Now I know I just excluded everybody that's under 40 right now. In the Run DMC song, Rock Box, Run describes his attire. He talks about his shoes, which we all know is Adidas. But what was the brand of jeans that D and Run always talked about in their songs? What was the jeans brand name that Run DMC rocked religiously, and they talked about it specifically in the song Rock Box? The number, if you know. Oh, we have a phone call.
Man.
Let's go. This is DJ Rockwell, and with whom am I speaking?
It's the great brother Ahmed NYC.
the Jock brothers are in the building.
Man. My legacy love, sir.
Brother Ahmed of the mighty Jock brothers. The phone is ringing off the hook. Now they know. Now they know the answer.
Right.
Now, Brother Ahmed, if you get this wrong, I'm gonna personally jump on you. What?
Leaves on my legs, feet on my feet. Keep on my side, stay with the feet. I want two books for that. And Brother Qiyam got a promise to come on the Jock Brothers show and do an interview.
Yes, sir.
The third or fourth set of books now goes to my brother Ahmed of the Jock Brothers. We love you, brother. I don't even need to take you. I know who you are already. Love you, brother. Love you. And I'll contact you with our delivery method after the show. Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum salam. Oh, man.
I have been having a ball. I want to thank everybody who participated in this giveaway, but above all, I want to thank Brother Abdul Qiyam Muhammad for sponsoring this giveaway, this promotion of what I will now forever call the Daily Bread.
His Daily Bread.
Brother, we'll close out the show with you telling us about how you overcame the YouTube ban, and tell us about your website and your blog.
Yes, sir. Brother, I have really enjoyed. This has been one of the most joyous interviews I've ever been a part of there, brother. I mean, I really love it, brother. You're really rocking it well. Pun intended. I think a lot, dear brother, that in the nation, we have so many talented believers with so many skills, brother. We have everything we need. So after being terminated, from YouTube, I got with Modic Design, which is a well-development marketing company that's owned by Sister Ebony Muhammad here in Houston. Sister is a WordPress wizard. And got with her, another brother in Denver, Colorado. My logo, the Abdul Qiyam logo that I have, he designed that for me as a gift. And I've never met the brother before. He designed the logo. And all of the flyers and things that I've ever had, including the Teachers 2.0 podcast logo, Brother Jalil is my go-to, person. And so I'm saying that to say is that Sister Ebony got with me, and we worked to build QVideo.com. And what we have found now, investing by the grace of Allah, my own money, and the support and donation of so many believers and supporters outside the Nation of Islam. I have to tell you, one of the first biggest donors, Brother Bond, to Q Video when I was first starting is one of my dear friends here in Houston, who's a big-time international motivational speaker. I reached out to her. I was pitching certain people. It's like a startup company. I'm trying to get it off the ground.
Right.
And she donated $1,000 without blinking, brother. She said,
Allah.
You don't have to pitch to me, Brother Qiyam. She said, all the work you've done, you don't have to pitch. Just tell me where to give it. So it was one of my colleagues from the community that was the first person to plant a seed based upon our service and work on behalf of the minister in our nation. And so since that time, brother, we have done the research and invested the money and have found, Brother Bond, every functionality that you find on YouTube and other platforms like that, they are available for us to have them.
Come on.
We just have to know where to find them and have the right developers to build it. So when you go to qvideo.com, that's qvidio.com, you will see with the videos, it's the same functionality that you find on the channel that terminated me.
How about it?
So we are learning that in this mind of separation, we now have a platform where we don't have no censorship. It's 1000% truth trafficking of the word.
Come on.
We own it, control it, and we can put up anything that we want on it. And I'm very happy that we did it and we launched it as a gift to the minister on his birthday anniversary on May 11th.
Allahu
It was
Akbar.
a gift to him because I wanted to let him know that we're not going to let Satan stop us. We
on.
have to continue to navigate. So I want to invite believers, friends, look, send us content. Go on there and subscribe. It's for free. And we're just getting started. The minister said everything starts small, but we've already shown ourselves within 6 months, Brother Vaughn, it could be done. We can remove ourselves and have our own platforms, dear brother. And I continue to support all believers. Let's utilize all the platforms. Along with that, Allah has blessed us to build up this platform to show that we can be independent. And I close with this and saying this, to show, and this is to our people not in the nation who may think that we just do a lot of talking about the enemy and this, that, and the other.
The white man.
Would you all believe that since my channel has been terminated, YouTube has still been sending me emails from their team telling me that certain videos on my terminated channel is violating policy? They sent me an email as late as 2 weeks ago.
Really now?
About the criterion. And they sent me an email, Brother Vaughn, 2 weeks ago to tell me that they have now declared the criterion on my terminated channel that it now violates their violent policy. On violence? But wait a minute, brothers and sisters, think about this. If my channel is terminated, why is YouTube still sending me emails about my channel? See, you gotta know that there's conversations that's going on away from us. There are some conversations going on behind the scenes about the criterion, about the minister, about his students and his helpers. So this warfare, this digital warfare is serious with these people, brothers and sisters. So they terminated me for a reason, not because of me, but because what I said from the book of John 15. No, they hated you because they hated me first. So we're going to keep on by the grace of Allah. And I want to thank everybody that supported the Q Video platform. I want to thank everybody that's asked me about it, that ain't subscribed and trying to figure out what it is. But we just going to keep on building, keep on working. And just like anything I've done, Brother Vaughn, by the grace of Allah, whether it's writing, my blog, my social media platforms, Q Video is not mine. It belongs to the believers and the people. And anything I've ever been blessed to build up, I've given it away and have sponsored and have promoted people more than I have promoted myself. That's because that's how the minister teaches. You are empowered when you give away power. When you try to hoard things, you become powerless. So let's stop trying to compete with one another. No, Q Video is yours. So if you got some good content that you want to share and you tired of being censored, come on over here and let us spread it, because you know why? We got to separate and do something for ourselves because it's the time. So I thank you, YouTube. Shout out to those that keep trolling me, sending me those emails. May Allah bless you all.
Brother. You know what? I know I said that was the last one. I want to close on this note, which will be the last point that we'll raise. And I'll give you the final word. And I almost forgot until we started talking about your site. In the description page, you say this, and I thought it was absolutely profound. You say, my prayer is that you see the possibilities that are available and not to be limited to the perimeter set by others. Enter into a world of ideas that push the boundaries. I want to close, Brother Abdul Qiyam, with you just sharing a word of inspiration for those who have that great idea, that great thought that they've been messing around with, but are afraid to take the step out because they're afraid that it doesn't work or it won't work or it won't be accepted. Yes. That quote struck me. Share a word of encouragement for those who are afraid to color outside the box.
Again, and I know your guests who not in the nation like, oh, he talking about his the minister. Golly.
You doggone right.
But the scripture says, will a man rob God?
Listen.
Hey, I have to give credit where credit is due in closing, Brother Bond. That theme of the world of ideas in motion, again, was inspired by something the minister gave me as an assignment that I did not know subconsciously I was carrying out. You remember we had Day of Atonement in Tuskegee in 2013.
Yes, sir.
That's the same year that he had the Time and What Must Be Done series going. And going into Tuskegee, I wrote the minister because I had this idea, Brother Bond, that I wanted to beat the Guinness World Record for the largest tweet up or a meetup where people tweet up. I wanted to break the Guinness World Record in Tuskegee. So I sent the minister a proposal and idea of that. During this time, the minister was in an undisclosed place, taking I put in quotes, sabbatical, because the minister even works when he's supposed to be resting.
How about that?
He called me after he read the proposal. This was in August, 2 months out from Tuskegee. He said, brother, I read your proposal. He said, brother, where do you come up with this stuff? Where do you get these ideas from?
Listen.
And I said, is that a good thing, brother minister? Because I didn't know if he was right. Like it, you can't never tell with the minister sometimes, man. He'll leave you hanging. You be scared. Like, did you do something wrong? He said, where do you come up with this stuff? Where do you come up with these ideas? And I said, is that a good thing, brother minister? He said, yes, brother. He said, oh, how I wish the believers would live in the world of ideas, brother. This is in 2013. You hear the seed drop, boop, boop. He said, brother, I love the way your mind works. He said, brother, go and free your fellow believers from the oppressive grips. And he said, brother, I'm not talking about the white man. I didn't ask him what he meant. He said, go free your fellow believers, brother. I want the believers to live in the world of ideas, brother. And then he said this to me. He said, brother, thank you, brother. You have freed yourself. And I said, brother minister, you freed me. He said, oh, brother, you freed yourself from that which was holding you down, even in your nation, brother. You live in the world of ideas. You are free. Go free your fellow believers, brother. You hear me?
Listen.
I said, yes, sir. I had no idea that next year, this first volume would come out. This is my first time saying it publicly. Your brother and brother Michael 6X out of Cincinnati, who's now in the West Coast, he toured with me. Brother, we did nearly 80 cities on that tour. Wow. Quietly. I'm not the type to just post. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not that type of person that's going to post everything. But the record showed we started and did a tour around this nation to every major city, all the regions, small study groups, even cities that didn't have a mosque, not knowing that in my bearing the witness of him and presenting, it was freeing first the young believers around the nation.
Come on.
First starting with the work through the Twitter army. Brothers and sisters, if you have been playing down the Twitter army and this work of the social media, you haven't really understood and you haven't really been studying your lessons. But something has been happening with our young believers in the nation, starting with the time and what must be done. And there's been a freeing of them that has happened, that has led to an explosion that we are witnessing to this day. And it's all rooted in this man. And he gave me an assignment, but I didn't know I was doing it. So, cue video. Enter into the world of ideas. That got inspired by the minister, man. So that's what I do. I wake up every day in the world of ideas. I don't wake up on the wrong side of the bed. I wake up happy because I'm doing what I love to do and what I know I was born to do. So I want that for my fellow brothers and sisters, whether you're in the nation or not. We want you to be free to wake up with joy, unspeakable joy. You sing it in the church. Well, we want you to know that feeling that when you wake up every morning, you don't have nobody holding you down, including yourself, but you live in the world of ideas to the point it gets so frustrating that you don't know what to do every day because you got so much running through your mind. You can be free. That's what Jesus said.
Come on.
I go that I prepare a place for you, that where I am, you may be also. The minister said he ain't necessarily mean a physical place, but the plane of existence that he's on. He's prepared a place for us. He got a spot waiting for all of us. Enter into the world of ideas and watch what happens in your life. Let's stop making excuses. Let's start become excuse eliminators.
Listen.
And that's why YouTube and all of them, when they censor us, they banking on that we gonna be victims and whine about it and we gonna roll over. Well, I'm sorry. You got the wrong ones.
Come on.
The minister been freeing some people who living in the world of ideas. So we want you to have that joy, that unspeakable joy. So enter into the world of ideas and don't leave out of it. And you will have joy, unspeakable joy. How do I know? Because I'm striving to live it.
Wow.
Come on into the world of ideas. As they say in the church, the doors of the Rockwell Radio Church are open. And if you are without a home, the world of ideas are open to you. Won't you come? Won't you come? If you are without a home, the world of ideas is open to you. May Allah bless you, brother. I know it's time for me to eat the rest of my food now.
I don't know about you at home, but I have just been made whole. I have just been edified. I have just been ministered unto, and my heart is full. Brother, we thank you for your time. We are now 41 minutes over our 60-minute deadline, and I thank you for being so gracious with your time, but more importantly, so abundantly giving with your spirit.
Oh, praise Allah.
Thank you, brother. May Allah bless you with success in all of your endeavors and to be and continue to be as infectious as you are with your spirit and your willingness to help the man of God in our midst. Brother, we thank you.
Allah.
And if you would just tell the people as we get up out of here where they can follow you on social media.
Well, first, I want you to, even though they still shadow banning it, I want you to follow the minister on Twitter at Louis Farrakhan. Go right now. That's at Louis Farrakhan on Twitter. And you can find me at qvideo.com. That's qvidio.com. That's qvidio.com. And you can find all my social media platforms on there. Get you a channel, subscribe. And if you want and you're inspired to make a donation, that's fine too. We welcome you. But I thank Allah for you, dear brother. I thank Allah for everything you've done with this platform. I thank you for using it the way the minister has utilized social media, with respect, intelligence, and high wisdom. And I pray that your followership and listeners will continue to grow, that the more we lift him up, the more we will draw all men unto him, and the more we will be empowered. So may Allah keep you strong and keep on leaning. As they say in the church, lean on that rock.
Come on.
Surah 15. And Allah will continue to bless us all, my brother. May Allah strengthen us during this time of trial and bless us with the light of understanding and give us strength, as the minister say, to put Satan to a perpetual flight. By his grace.
Perpetual flight, my God.
Perpetual flight.
This is DJ Rockwell, the nation's #1 DJ, and this is my brother Abdul Qiyam Muhammad. We want to thank all of you for staying over with us this extra 45 minutes. And if you feel like I feel, I know that it was worth it. We are out of here. We will see y'all next week on the Rockwell Radio Show. Peace.
I'd like to know, are you really ready for some super dynamite soul?